Hey Jay, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for taking the time to be here. We have an awesome amount of companies here looking to learn from companies like yourselves. Can we just take a moment to introduce yourself, your company, and what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a primarily retail company. We do a mixture of commercial and residential. And the company's name is Ohm Restoration. I started the company quite a few years ago, and I've done quite a few acquisitions since then and grown the company to 14 locations now. And I know a lot of companies say, oh, we do residential and commercial, but we actually do a pretty solid amount of both. So pretty proud of what we got.
Very cool. Yeah, 14 locations. I know a lot of people are going to want to know about that. Tell me a little bit about like how were you able to grow and to expand into so many other territories?
Yeah, the easiest way to expand is obviously through acquisition. If you have the capital, that's primarily our expansion plan. You can start a new market. A new market, if you're a roofing company, in my opinion, and you're wanting to start a new market, you're going to want to buy a service truck. You're going to want to spend a bunch of ads on service calls, hire a technician. And once you get that truck making whatever you need to make, our service trucks, we're wanting them to have a certain amount of tickets per month. But you can easily profit 30 to 40K a month on a service truck. Once you get that truck's call times logged in with its helper, then you'll add a second truck, add a third truck. By the time you add the third truck, you typically have enough cash flow in that location to start an actual office and staff an actual office. You don't ever want to staff an actual office until you have that cash flow because it can create cash flow hiccups at your other locations, in my opinion. Also, you don't want to have the like shady, seedy startup office, if you know what I mean. Like the rented space. All of our offices are really nice, mostly custom built locations. You don't want like the suite you rented in the strip mall, in my opinion. It pollutes your brand a little bit.
Totally. Yeah, no, that's really interesting. So you mentioned something in there about the truck and getting the truck into that area, but what about the marketing? How do you actually expand marketing wise into another area? What does it take? You said you run ads in that area, but tell me a little bit about what that looks like.
Yeah, funny enough, that's how we work with 411 actually a lot is some of our marketing materials. We use the word in our culture periobolo, which is a phrase that means attack from all directions. That's sort of our play on marketing. We want to have you guys provide us with magazines. I don't know. You guys provide us with quite a few printable goods that sometimes we'll mail out, or sometimes they're just at events. A lot of events we'll have magazines sitting at our tents. We do a lot of events and we'll have booths and tents. Radio, TV, that's something that you really probably should be on, especially relevant to your industry. So news or weather. We try to get established in the country clubs really quickly. We'll do giveaways, golf cart giveaways. So we'll park a really nice golf cart at the country club and then they have to sign up and we give it away in 30 days. Every 30 days, we'll switch it out and we'll give it away. And then people in the country club, when you get two or three of your golf carts that are really like we'll have like Rolls Royce or Hummer or something like that. When you have two or three of those rolling around the country club, everyone in the country club knows who you are as a company at that point. And you think, oh, I'm not going to drop 12K on a golf cart or 15K, but honestly, you make that back in one job. It's not an enormous amount of money when you think about it. And if you have three of those rolling around the golf cart, three of those rolling around the country club, you just have to set the criteria of how to qualify those giveaways well, because you want the right people in your golf carts seeing your praises. So
I love that. That's such a cool idea. No one's actually said that idea before, like, or have shared something. I've heard some things, but I have not heard the golf cart. And I feel like that's immediately something that anyone on this call can do and really get
yeah,
into a neighborhood that you actually want to be doing work in. And you can make it digital. So you could take that same contest and run an ad for people in certain areas as well, not just limited to that neighborhood. So you can kind of double down on a campaign that you know works, you know?
yeah, for sure.
I love that. And you said mentioned something about, we created a custom sales magazine for you. Tell me about that. Like, how do you plan to use those in your marketing?
Yeah, honestly,
What
marketing, we're talking in the context of starting a new location. I believe we're still in that context. So in the context of new location, it's all about brand recognition, but it's also about, how do I say, proof of concept, possibly. Like they want to know you're the real deal. And if you have like magazines printed out, that's professional grade magazines about your company, some awards you've won, even if it's not relevant to that location, even if you're a brand new company starting out, it's still, you can put some stuff down. Legitimizes you a lot to people, and then just drop them off strategically. Use them at home shows in that city or job fairs, even just things like that. People, you want people just to kind of, it's hard to become a household name, but if you're going to sell retail, you have to be a household name. So you have to do it. They have to like see the magazine and then think, oh yeah, I saw the truck, I saw a billboard. It's all these different touch points, and each touch point has to be really professional and quality. So yeah, the golf cart's an easy win in that country club, but before they even sign up for the golf cart, they're not going to sign a questionnaire up to win a golf cart in a company they've never heard of. So they've already seen your tech truck working on the, oftentimes we'll do free repairs in the country club. So we'll be up on the roofs working when they're coming in and out golfing and dining and stuff. And so they've already seen us around. We'll put billboards up around their neighborhoods. We're just really strategic on multiple touch points. And that's one of the really quality touch points when you have a magazine sitting there. Nobody thinks fly by night or checking a truck when they see things like that.
Very cool. So you felt like the sales magazine helped with the credibility of the company and just more something to really position you as an elevated company in the market, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Awesome. I love that. That's super awesome. We'll definitely share the magazine, like the cover of it, so people can see it. We won't share the whole thing, but we'll share the cover of it so everyone can
Yeah,
see it.
I don't care. Share it. We did it. We did it pretty cool. You guys did it pretty cool. It's really personalized. There's like a write-up of me and my wife in there. I honestly haven't read it, to be quite honest, but I know my team said it was great, so
I love it. I love it. As long as it's getting results, that's what matters.
for sure.
So tell me about in the current location. So let's switch gears. We talked about opening a new location and some of the things you've done to really create that standout and that brand visibility. But what about currently for the existing locations? You know, what marketing do you?
Yeah, you have to do your maintenance marketing, and also you want it just depends, right? Depends what you're trying to grow. Location by location, you have to have KPIs that you're tracking, and you have to notice when numbers are slowing down. So if retail jobs are slowing down, you have to kick off your campaigns that's pushing retail jobs. If you're wanting commercial, you have to do just tracking your KPIs. We'll be really flexible on what we're spending per market, depending what KPIs we're getting in that market. Like there might be a market we're doing no social media marketing at all. There might be another market where primarily all we do is social media. It's just depending where that actual office is at. The office I'm sitting in right now is our Springfield, Missouri location, and that's where I live, but our corporate office is in Dallas. But I'm here at this office more times than not, and we're primarily a residential office, but we do here at this location, we'll do 12 million in residential roofs this year, plus probably another 6 to 8 million in commercial. And our primary marketing here is just touch points, prior customer, text push. We're all about, service plans, maintenance plans. If you got your gutters clean, let's go clean your air ducts. Just whatever we can send to text the customers. We want to touch base with the customers every, 90 to 180 days, depending on how aggressive we're running campaigns.
Very cool. So I think that makes sense because a lot of people don't really understand what works for their friend may not work for them, especially if people are in different markets or have different services they offer or specialize in. And so marketing is not a one size fits all. And you've noticed that because you get to see it with all of your locations, right? What
Yeah.
some social media heavy, some maybe Google heavy, it sounds like, and it just really depends on what's working and what's not in those areas. Is that right?
And it depends what you want to do too. You got to be really specific with what you want to do. Like this location is a location we want to be primarily a residential because the businesses here, this isn't a urban area, so the businesses here are locally owned. So if we're really heavy on the residential side, we get the commercial side. In my Dallas office, that is not the case at all. So we're primarily Dallas. So it's knowing your market too. And you can't wake up one day and decide, oh, I just want everything. You have to figure out what your niche is, and then you have to be the best at your niche. And that's how you grow the market share, just being the best at your niche.
I love that. Yeah, that's so important. Sometimes people try to do everything and then they get nothing instead of kind of putting those building blocks in place. Same thing with marketing. You have to put the building blocks in place. No one goes from not known to like doing everything everywhere. It takes time. You kind of see the overnight success, but you don't see all the things it took to get there.
Yeah.
Curious, I love the golf carts. I keep going back to that. Such a cool idea.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, everybody's got an extra 10 to 12K laying around, or you shouldn't be in this industry. And so why not? Why not park a Hummer or Rolls Royce golf cart or something? You can find all kinds of cool ones. We always brand them out. We reupholster them to our company colors and put like lights going underneath them and stuff. But I have my techs do that and then park them on the golf cart and or on the country club and let them sit there for 30 days or so and let people fill
Yeah,
out.
I want a golf cart, a decked out golf cart. I'm gonna
Yeah.
apply for this contest. So tell me what has had like that's one I think case that has had good results for you. Tell me about like what other what do you think marketing wise overall has had the best results for you? Anything digital that's really stood out, like a campaign that was a really winning one you guys do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we do so much marketing. The thing about marketing is that's the one, whenever I have companies that are new or struggling or whatever, and they're like, I can't even pay myself a salary. I'm like, yeah, of course, you're a business owner, grow up. You're not going to get a salary for a while. That's part of it. But the one thing you can't, I guess, budget tightly is marketing. Because if you're not marketing and you're not aggressively spending in that category, you're dying or you're struggling. Like if you have fresh leads coming in, you're going to be okay. You're going to figure out how to convert those and you just have a completely different set of problems if you are marketing. And obviously, yeah, we run some digital. I mean, we try to do everything, right? We're going to be running paper, digital, TV, billboards. Trucks are huge. We have wrap trucks. We have 4 or 5 different designs, but you always see my truck trapped all over the industry because people will drive by and be like, what the heck, who's this company? And put them on roofing pages and stuff because they are really, really cool. So we have some artist design wraps that are award winning and we're proud of those. And giveaways be really big, be really splashy. Everybody gives away. I started giving away, oh shoot, 2 years ago. You want to be on the cutting edge, right? 2 years ago, every one of my home shows or whatever I was at, we had free Stanley tumblers, branded Stanley tumblers. And we'd give away 500, 600 each trade show, right? Now I see guys giving away all these Stanley tumblers. So I don't want to be a part of that anymore, right? But that's not cheap, dropping 35 to 50 bucks per person, handing away hundreds of those things. It's not cheap. So you don't want to appear cheap. You want to appear legitimate and you want to aggressively spend. I'm sure I could have made some sort of a magazine online with some online source a lot cheaper than I did with you guys, but the magazine we got with you guys is just really high quality. Just things like that. Don't try to be cheap in marketing. Make the more you spend in more marketing, the more authentic, the more real your brand looks. If you cheap it out, people can tell. And when you're walking through a trade show, you know the people that are cheaping out on their marketing, and it's not a booth you really want to go to. So just think about that perspective wise.
I agree because it's all about how you position yourself. Marketing's and brand positioning is not just about what you do online, it's how you carry yourself. So if your booth is all like raggedy and put together and low quality print, what's your actual product or service like? It speaks volumes. People want to be tied to things that are legitimate. Just curious, since you have so many locations, and just in general for people who are growing their company, they may have an existing company. Do you run your marketing in-house or do you outsource it to a partner?
So that's a good question right now, but that's just current. I've used so many different people and I continue to use different people just depending what campaigns we're running. I want to have the experts on the team. I'm not an expert on social media marketing. I don't want to ever become one. I don't have the time to become one. So yeah, I mean, obviously we align ourselves with multiple partners and that we feel has a grasp on that specific niche of marketing the best.
I love that. Yeah, I teach company owners all the time marketing strategies, and there's a mix, right? Depending on the size. I agree with you, right? It doesn't make sense for you to know about social media marketing, just enough to know what you need to do to hire somebody or get somebody in your office who can do it and execute. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes I see like roofers trying to learn SEO, and it just doesn't make sense. It's a waste of your time. Just know enough where you can communicate the effectiveness of it or what you need done, but then like let somebody else do it, pass it off. It doesn't matter who it is, if it's someone internal or external, but don't waste your time on those things because like you said, marketing's important, but sales and marketing are the two things that need to be focused on, right? And as a company owner, you need to focus on growth. You can't be actually doing backlinking and trying to build your own website. That's a waste of your time. So I couldn't agree more. I teach people that all the time and how to have that perfect mix, depending on where they're at. How do you do it? How do you manage so many locations? What's that look like? Give me a
Actually,
little.
no, I don't have an active role in my company at all.
Okay.
I'm sitting here in the office at Springfield right now, but I don't, it's just structuring well. Obviously, it wasn't like that when I was starting out. The sun finally went down, so I'm not glaring at you guys. I have a glass wall, and the sun was just killing me for a little while. No, I don't have an active role at all in the company. So I come
So there,
in, I'll do sales meetings sometimes at locations. We have sales meetings 4 times a week, and sometimes they'll ask me to speak some visionaries parts on that. That's about all I do.
So there's a lot of people on this call. That's why I wanted to ask that, who want to be in the position you're in. They just don't know how to get out of the business. They're stuck in it. Like, how did you be able to have 14 locations? Like, just what, and but be able to remove yourself where you have the role you do, you're the visionary.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Location one, if you're actively working full-time, location one, it's not hard to scale that location. And 20 millions when I started having a lot of expendable income to where I was like, I need to spend some big money. And that's when I wanted to start buying other companies. And so that's when the acquisition started. But the best way to do that is replicate yourself. Be really conscientious of where you're spending your time. If you're spending most of your time recruiting, hire a recruiter. If you're spending most of your time doing back office, hire an office manager. If you're spending your time in production, hire a production manager. Just replicate yourself, whatever's taking the most of your time. That's the easiest way to do it when you're starting out.
I love it. I love how you've been able to build and that you're get to be the visionary. That's what a lot of people's goals are, but then they get sucked into the day to day and they're like, how do I get back out? So it's, you could just tell you're chilling, like you're very laid back and you're not even blinking or thinking twice when I ask these questions. It's very natural. It's almost like you know the recipe to build successful locations, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I lived it and breathed it, and I've bled in it too. I understand the stress and the sleepless nights starting out. I've been there, but it's a lot better when you have a team that's just handling it and you're an owner and then you're just more focused on vision. And we're doing our vision retreat. All my executive level leaders, we go on a vision retreat every November and we get the company's plans and goals together per location for the next physical year. And so I'm getting ready to go on that and spend some time. I haven't met some of these guys on the executive level, depending on the location. So we always bring all their families out and everything. And I'm getting really excited about that. So that's when you say, all right, here's the number we got to hit. How do we hit it? And break it down.
I love it. And that's culture too. That's so much fun. So, all right, thank you so much for joining. One last question. What is like one piece of advice you'd give to everyone listening right now, companies who are looking to build or expand on marketing? What's like that one piece of advice you'd leave them with?
Yeah, don't go cheap. Most of the time when you're trying to build and scale, you just need to be better at recruiting, and Business 411 offers some great recruiting and training products. We actually use you guys. We have some, I think our training manuals are made by you guys. I'm 99% sure. At least they were at one time. I'm positive they still are. So if you want to look legitimate, it's a sell. Your biggest sell is to your employees. Like you have to be the most authentic and the most legitimate to your employees. So spend the money, get those manuals look really legit when they're coming in for interviews. Handing them a branded training manual is huge. And if you're great at recruiting, you'll be great at everything else.
Love it. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. I love the conversation. I love the golf cart idea. And I love what you guys are doing. It's really awesome. So thanks for
Yeah, thank
sharing.
you. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
See you.